Alright, Sean, I think it's your turn to give us a theme tune there.
Buffalo girl, won't you come out tonight? Come out tonight, come out tonight. Buffalo girl, won't you come out tonight? And dance by the light of the moon.
Oh, you actually got the lyrics.
Yeah, it's just a little under like that.
Oh, well then. Hello and welcome to Films I Should Have Seen, the podcast in which we watch and discuss movies that are either considered popular or high regarded that we may have missed in the past. My name is Ross, and with me as always is my co-host Sean.
Evening.
And James.
Evening.
Who's in the middle of a yawn.
Yeah.
And welcome to our Christmas special episode in which we watched It's a Wonderful Life, which came out in 1946.
46, wow.
Which I think that makes it the oldest film we've watched on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I hadn't seen this before.
I haven't seen this before.
But
I have seen this several times.
Yeah. So you were actually one who recommended this.
I did.
For the Christmas special episode.
I wanted to recommend Jungle All the Way for the Christmas special, but it got turned down.
We've all seen it.
It's a great film.
Well, that's not how this works, James.
Watch Jungle All the Way.
Right. So you since you did recommend this, you obviously like this film.
I do like this film, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not your typical Christmas film. It's not got your Santa Claus.
No.
It still has that feel-good Christmas factor as you get into it, but it's a very different side.
Yeah, it's not what you would...
Christmas. It's not something you would sit down as a family and I don't feel...
Yeah, it's not like you've got the prototypical formula that there is now for a Christmas film, which is all happy, soft lighting, everyone's just so nice and getting along.
And like 90% of this film isn't set around Christmas.
No.
No. They establish early on, I think, in that conversation at the beginning with like the angels and stuff like that. I think they mentioned then it's Christmas Eve currently.
Yes.
But then, as we're just looking through George Bailey's life, it's his life. It isn't up until it gets back to Christmas Eve, so the day...
the day of the incident.
The day of... Yeah. That... It's not really about Christmas, but I do think it is undeniably a Christmas film. Like, the main
you would watch this any other time.
No, the main message of this is very, like, kind of Christmassy, and it's about, like, appreciating what you've got and your family and the loves in your life and all like that. So, I think, yeah,
that's traditional take on Christmas.
But it isn't that whole, like you say, it isn't, like, about Santa and the reindeer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, did you watch this, like, at a young age?
No, I hadn't seen it until I'd been with Hannah a couple of years, so it's probably about maybe 8 years ago I first saw it.
Okay. Hannah's your wife. I don't know if we've ever mentioned that.
I think we have.
We were at our parents' one evening when her father had it on, and I caught snippets of it, and then we came home, we got a DVD, and I think we've watched it for the last 6 or 7 years on the bounce.
Okay. Which I don't know if we mentioned this when we said we was going to watch it. We have watched the original black and white version.
Yes.
Not the recoloured one. Not that I'm sure it makes a difference narratively, but we went for the original presentation of the film.
It was a minute shorter than the recolour.
A minute shorter, yeah.
Because Ross thought I said an hour and 30 minutes when it was actually 130 minutes.
I think I thought you said an hour and 30 minutes because I'd heard a number of people say that this isn't a long film.
It was 100. I said 130.
I wasn't listening.
Anywho.
James, did you enjoy this film?
Yes, I did. It was a lovely, well, I say a lovely film, but it was a lovely story. I completely and utterly get the message, the appreciating what you have, that, the people who are in your life you do affect, whether you realise it or not. Yes, I did enjoy it. As someone who has seen it for the first time, yeah, I did enjoy it. It's a lovely film. My brother, who you two know, the people don't, but you know that he is a big film guy. Mm-hmm. I think he only watched it recently for the first time. I'm going to say within the past about 4 or 5 years, and he, like yourself, Sean, he does watch it now religiously every Christmas. Yep. I think it's mainly for the end bit where it's running down the street, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas building, Merry Christmas Emporium.
This is
Sounded
something I wanted to bring up as well, because before we watch this film, you did ask me, Sean, do I know any of the iconic scenes from it? And I responded with, I may have seen them, I just maybe don't know it's this film. I was right about that. There's two scenes. The lasso the moon. I've seen that scene before, and the whole him running down the street. Because I think that's the scene they use in, like, do you know when it gets close to Christmas and channels start advertising that they're going to be showing the Christmas movies? I think that's the one scene they always show in that, like, montage.
Yeah, that montage, yeah.
So,
yeah, because when you said that as well, I was like, okay, I will listen out now for, like quotes and stuff like that, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, so this has come from here. I get it now.
Yeah. I love this. This is the first time seeing it. I didn't really know what it was about. No, I loved it. I thought the message was great. I think for a film that came out in 1946, this is aged phenomenally well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was incredibly heartwarming. I'm not going to lie, because obviously, full spoilers. The bit at the end where everybody's coming in and, like, giving him the money, and it's just kind of like the save the day moment. I did well up.
You will a little bit. I pulling the heartstrings a little.
It's fun, man. I always do.
Yeah. No, I think of, like, obviously, if anybody hasn't seen this film, and spoilers, but we always talk spoilers, so you should know that by now. Like, this is a film about a guy who is on the brink of killing himself.
Yes.
And the very last thing is, like, Guardian Angel coming down to show him that that's not going to solve the problem, and that he would be giving up way more than he thinks.
Yeah.
So I do like, beyond the whole thing of him, like, realising that he does have a lot to live for, and he has done a lot of good, and his life isn't as bad as he thinks he is in that moment. Just everybody coming in to, like, save the day and help him out.
Yeah.
The way that he's, like, helped him out. I was like, that's such a heartwarming moment. And, I loved it.
Yeah, they very cleverly, not to poke holes in it, but they very cleverly, the line he says is, I wish I was never born.
Yeah.
He doesn't say it, because in theory, if he did kill himself, yes, his wife would be able to collect his life insurance, pay off the $8,000 debt problem, and she'd have some money left over to see her through for I don't know how long. So in theory, he could still jump off the bridge and solve the problem.
No, because
obviously what they go back and show is just him never being born, so people never know him, that he was never there.
I still think there's the idea of, alright, if he kills himself, his wife gets to claim the life insurance. That solves the initial, like, $8,000 problem. But I think a big part of it is then he's the little guy who's been fighting against Mr. Potter.
He's the foundation.
So if he was gone, that life insurance thing might solve that one problem.
Yeah.
But then
it's just going to come back.
It all goes crap. Yeah. So I do think they do a good job with it, and I really enjoyed it. I thought James Stewart, who plays George Bailey, was a very, like, wonderful lead.
Yeah.
He was quite charismatic, and this film was a lot funnier than I expected it to be.
Yeah, some great comic bits in it.
Yeah. I think the one that stands out for me is where they're singing in the rain, these two friends, the policeman and the cab guy, after they've gone to the rundown house, and he just smacks them on the head.
Yeah, and all the water
that was funny.
As you know, I like really rubbish jokes. You both know I like dad jokes. And it's the one where Martini is getting his first home that they've loaned him. And he says, don't worry, we'll take the kids in the car. They load the kids in, and then as it pans out, there's a billy goat sat in the back seat and things like that. It's just those little bits that you sit and chuckle.
Yeah. Well, speaking about, like, the humour and stuff like that, one of the things I read here is that as Uncle Billy drunkenly leaves the Bailey home, it sounds as if he stumbles into some trash cans on the sidewalk. In fact, a crew member dropped a large tray of props right after Thomas Mitchell went off screen. James Stewart began laughing, and Mitchell quickly improvised, "I'm alright, I'm okay." Director Frank Capra decided to use this take in the final cut and gave the stagehand a $10 bonus for improving the sound.
That's brilliant. That is such a good little tidbit there.
But that's the thing, like, I thought, like, the dynamics between people, like the character interactions, did seem so human.
Yeah.
And a lot of the comedy did just come across less of trying to make a joke and people just being genuinely,
just
like,
vibing off each other.
Yeah, funny with each other. Like, a lot of like the dumb humour between them did seem like just like friends and family just kind of like riffing on each other. Like I like that scene at the beginning where it's it's just, I think it's the first scene or it might be the second scene when we see George grown up, and he's on about it's when he's first on about like travelling. Harry, the younger brother, is arranging like the party or something.
in the house,
and
in
it's
the
like
family home,
the dinner around the family table, and there was quite a few lines like between the family and was the maid called Anne?
Yeah, I think it was Anne.
And there was a lot of things like that which just came across as like just genuine like kind of comedy moments rather than jokes.
Yeah,
and I did really appreciate that because I thought it was like
again, it reinforces how important George is to everything, and that he, even though he might think he's in a bad, boring, whatever situation, actually everyone's happy when he's there.
Yeah, like, but there's the thing of like Anne the maid, like she's just blatantly, it's not like eavesdropping, she's blatantly just trying to listen into the conversation, and he just turns to her and goes, would you like to pull up a chair?
Yeah.
You might be able to hear better. Like, it doesn't seem like a joke, that genuinely just seems like sarcasm of a family who's very used to this worker in their home.
Yeah.
And then like when there is the genuine moment between him and his dad, and he's like, Dad, you're a great man and stuff like that, and then he's like, did you hear that, Anne? And it cuts to her at the door. It's like, oh, it's about time one of you said it.
Yeah.
Like, I really enjoyed it, and I thought like the moments between the characters were like really sweet.
You're just smiling away over there, right? Yeah.
Are you not going to be that talkative this episode because you've got a bit of a bad for it?
I don't think I'm doing too bad so far.
So it's holding
I'm
up.
not doing too bad, but like,
Yeah, I'm a bit hoarse.
No.
You was waiting, no joke. I was just...
Another fun thing, because I was going to bring this up because I did like Donna Reed, who plays Mary in it. I thought the chemistry between her and James Stewart was really good. But for the scene where Donna has to throw a rock at the window, they hired a marksman to shoot out the window on cue. But much to everyone's amazement, she broke the window herself.
Oh, that's a good effort. That was just for clarification. In the scene where it's young George working at the drugstore and the two girls are there, is the second girl coming in supposed to be Mary or not?
No, the one who was already sat at the counter is Mary.
Yes, sorry, yeah. Oh, so that was
the other one's the blonde.
Violet.
I was going to say Victoria. Yeah. I knew it was a bit.
Okay, yeah, that's right then. Yeah, because they didn't. I can't remember if they said she was called Mary or he said Mary when he first came in. So I was like, oh, just introduced random girl here at the dance thing. But it was me. It was my.
I think it's Violet who introduces her. I think she sits at the counter and says, oh, hi, Mary.
Probably, probably. She wants...
Yeah, because Mary's...
shoelaces for 2 cents.
Yeah, like Mary's the one who's already sat there, and when George is leaning down to get she leans forward and says, I'm going to marry you someday, George. But obviously he can't hear it because of his bad ear.
Yeah, damn bad ear.
Yeah. Every time money was mentioned in this film, I think that's where the film showed its age.
Yeah.
Like when they're on about, how much do you need to get by for like the next
month or a week
month,
or whatever?
Like, $17.50. I'm like, what the hell?
Like, that'll buy you a coffee.
Yeah.
Or he's on like when he's talking to Potter and he's like, how much do you take home a week? And it's $40, and he's like, 45.
45.
It's like, what the? So, no, I think it's funny when you see like how much inflation really has affected things over the years.
So, have you ever seen it in colour then? Or have you only ever watched it in black and white?
We've only ever watched it once in colour.
And does it take away from the
dynamic personally, of it? I feel yes.
Okay, interesting.
I see it as a black and white film, and watching it back in the colour, it did take it away a little bit. We've then gone back and we watch it.
Always watch it in black and white.
We like the original.
Even in black and white, like I've mentioned this before. Of like, I think through the late 90s, like in early 2000s, I do think we have a period of cinema now that looks bad. Because when like CGI started to be used heavily, we have a period where CGI wasn't brilliant.
Yeah.
So those films are incredibly dated. But I've always said, like, if you go back and watch old films, they don't look bad. like they might be black and white, the frame rate might be a bit like off, but they still look decent. And I
Yeah.
thought this film,
Yeah,
obviously we watched it on Blu-ray, so it's probably had a little bit of a touch-up.
Yeah.
But I still think it looks great.
But you didn't notice it. Sometimes you notice it in like TV shows, don't you, when they
Yeah.
give it a HD filter or whatever. And sometimes it's just that little pan shot and you're like, that's not HD. It didn't feel like that with that. It did feel like it was high quality
Yeah.
throughout.
But there was one shot in it, which even at the time of watching it, I was like, that just seems like it's a little bit like kind of off kind of the rest of it. And as I was going through the trivia here on IMDb, this one, while filming the scene in which George prays in the bar, James Stewart was so overcome that he began to sob. Frank Capra later reframed and blew up the shot because he wanted to catch that expression on Stewart's face. This is why the shot looks so grainy compared to the rest of the film. So that was originally a wider shot, but they'd cut it so it was zoomed in closer. So obviously that's why the film grain shows a bit more. So that shot doesn't.
I didn't personally notice that, but maybe if we watch an earlier version of the film, we might notice it. But that's good.
But with the how good is the colorization of, like, if you watch just the colorization, does it look like a black and white film that's been touched up, or would you just assume it?
Yeah, you do notice that it's a black and white touched up.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know, because when would it have been recolored? Because I know recently, obviously was it James Cameron or was it Peter Jackson? I think it was Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson did the World War One or II documentary stuff. That
where he's
Peter
recolored
Jackson,
it, and that looks amazing. So
No, I don't know. But when we got the DVD, so that would have been about 7 years ago. So it's got to be about a decade or so ago.
okay,
Maybe longer.
oh, fair enough. No, I was happy we watched it in
Yeah.
black and white.
For this time of year, it's cozier.
just like it.
See, if we'd have had the hot chocolate while we were watching it,
Yeah.
so much cozier.
We did, like just for the beginning bit though.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah,
Yeah, we did. Yeah. It's a very good film. I think everyone should watch it. You get this debate this time of year, obviously, is what Christmas films do you watch? What do you consider a Christmas film? What don't you? And you get all that debate, and I can now concretely say, yes, this is obviously a Christmas film, and I think people should watch it.
Oh yeah. If you haven't seen this before, and you've listened this far in the podcast, yeah, we've spoiled it all for you. But I still highly recommend watching this film. I thought it was incredibly sweet.
Yeah.
And wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, lovely sound. Music was used well throughout it. Cinematography was how it was shot. It was nice. It had what you kind of always, I don't know if it is a stereotypical thing with black and white films, but you kind of get that shot, don't you, where it just sort of lingers on someone's face just for a while, and it had all them, and I was like, yeah, this feels like a black and white film. I'm enjoying this. This is good.
Of folk music and things gets your foot tapping.
Yeah.
At the right times.
I thought wonderful performances from everyone.
Yeah,
It
pretty
was
much
like,
everyone.
obviously, you have James Stewart and was it Donna Reed as like your leads as George and Mary.
Yeah.
But I even think the like just kind of side characters,
Support acts and things.
were all really good. Plays a small role in the grand scheme of the film, but the guy who plays the pharmacist,
Began with G, I can't remember his name.
I just thought he does come back every now and again in the movie,
Yeah.
but it's mainly just he's a background character
Yeah.
and he maybe says something. But the scene where it is a young George and he sees like the letter from to say that his son's passed
of
away,
influenza.
and then he's made the mistake with the pills,
medication,
and that scene
poisoning.
with them in the room where he's like kind of losing his temper and he's hitting George, but then like they realise and he breaks down.
Yeah.
I thought that scene was wonderfully performed both by the actor playing Doctor and the young kid.
Yeah, the young kid does a really good job, yeah.
No, I thought moments like that were like really
For such an early scene as well. And it's really gripping and...
yeah.
Again, it just drives home how important George is to everyone.
Yeah.
He, even at that age, he had saved his brother by that point.
He had saved his brother.
Yeah.
'Cause it obviously
Yeah, he had the bad ear by
the
then,
ear.
yeah. So, he's doing big things with his life already and he didn't even realise it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that is one of the things, even though that seems like such a kind of, oh, this is just sort of like a little scene, happened early on in his life. That does come back in the whole, if you were never born, you were never there to stop them.
Yeah.
He sent out the poison by mistake. He ended up going to jail for 20 years.
Yeah, it says, 20 years, yeah.
It does come back, but I thought, Uncle, is it Billy?
He was Uncle Billy, yeah.
Uncle Billy. I thought he was really good.
Raven.
With his Raven.
Yeah.
And then when we see him in his home,
Raven.
when we see him in his home, and he has like a squirrel. and
Oh,
stuff
that,
like that.
that squirrel that just runs up onto his arm.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I just look, there's one scene where he walks into the building and the Raven just flies onto his arm, and I'm like, that's what I want.
That's,
in my
you
life.
don't get that enough in modern culture,
I
do you?
don't.
People need more Ravens.
I don't care what job I have, I just want to be able to walk in and the Raven. Because it's never acknowledged. I don't think anyone ever addresses the Raven.
I don't think
There's
it's
only,
Raven's
there's only
name.
one pan, and it's when George comes bursting through the door, and it acts as like a doorbell. And it's sat on the side, it's going,
Really?
That's
I
like-
haven't missed that bit.
Let me see it.
No, because there's a bit where like they're talking through like just business stuff, and it was just there on the counter, and all I could focus on was the Raven. I was like,
Yeah, it was
nobody
just
going to do anything about this.
pecking away at the little model house, wasn't it? Or it stood on
Yes.
it or something, wasn't it? Just having it, just being a Raven, you know? Good old Raven. Must have been an old Raven. It aged. Obviously, if I aged. So
One thing that not so much a problem, but like I didn't have a lot of the time. I don't think I had a grasp of what age George was.
yeah,
when we first
obviously they only used the one actor, didn't they? Well, as him older. They didn't really use a different one as him as a teenager.
No.
It's the same actor all the way through his 20s. I assume at least into his 30s by the time he's had the kids.
Well, this is the thing. Like when we first introduced to him as an adult, when James Stewart starts playing him, he's just finished high school.
Yeah, so it'd be
So he'll be about 18,
17, 18.
I think, at that point. And then he's on about like going travelling, then going to college. And then obviously the stuff happens, his dad passes away, so then he ends up taking over the business, he never goes travelling, so then he's on about his dad has a seizure.
Yeah.
Is it a stroke.
No,
So then he
yeah.
doesn't travel,
Passes
so
away.
then he says, right, I missed out on travelling, you're not going to take college away from me. So I'm like, okay, so how much time passed from his dad having the stroke to his dad actually passing
Well,
away?
they actually mentioned, don't they, there's
a moment where
when
it's-
Joseph and I'm guessing it's God,
Yeah.
where they say, he gave up the next 4 years.
Yeah, they mentioned 4 years while his brother goes away
Yeah.
to college and comes back with his wife. So there's
Yeah.
definitely at least a
That's gotta
4
be about
year.
21,
So
22.
I think it's about
There is a
22, and
point-
then when he's having the conversation with Potter, does he say he's about 24?
I think there's a conversation with Potter where he says he's 28. And
Sorry, 28,
I
yeah.
thought he should have been... Well, no. I thought he would have been older at that point.
Yeah.
Because he's had the kids back then, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's had the kids.
No,
And the oldest.
that's when he's referencing to him an average, whatever, I can't remember if it's average Joe, but using the term, would have two, but he doesn't. I think him and Mary,
And if
Mother's just
if
been
the kid
married.
comes along, then that's another 10 you won't be able to save.
Yeah.
Yes,
So they
yeah.
haven't been along. Yeah.
No. Yeah,
So
so,
yeah,
they-
it'll
It's
be-
after
one
that
way-
he has. Then he says he has the boy and then the girl and then two more.
So the oldest lad, he's probably what,
about
10? Something
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
I think
So he's got to be about 30.
9 seems to kick around.
Somebody
in my head.
around his face. Yeah, I just thought it was one of those. Like, it wasn't a problem, but
No.
I did struggle, kind of like to go. All right, so how old is he now?
And again, it came out in 46. They haven't done much to age them, or you couldn't really tell in the black and white. I mean, you could kind of maybe tell in George's hair it was a bit grey,
Yeah.
but the
I
older
think that
people,
was-
they didn't get much older, did they?
No,
Like
there was some
Potter,
peop-
he was.
there were some people who were like really old
When he
at
was
the beginning
younger.
of the story, but were still really old
Yeah,
at the end
by
of
the
it.
end of it, yeah.
I think at one point, like the only kind of aging I saw with Potter was at one point they put a blanket on him.
Yeah, you know,
Let's
good.
keep the chill off.
Yeah, it's drafty, especially if he goes in that house.
Tell you what, though, that is a sturdy chair that has lasted him decades.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't make him like he used to.
No.
So I have a question or talking point regarding it.
Right.
Obviously, the theme of the George's whole arc is that he wants to leave his boring hometown,
Yeah.
and he isn't allowed to do it for reasons of this, that, and the other. So, as modern young men, I'm pointing at you and me, Ross, not Mr. Pinder over here.
You're old.
Modern young men.
That's nice, isn't it?
Does the message of the film make you want to stay in your hometown and appreciate the people you have around you, or fulfill your dream of going away and travelling?
Right, that question would be better directed at someone who wants to go away and travel.
True.
Travel isn't really on the card.
But the whole... You know what I'm getting at there.
So I think I get what you're getting at, because obviously we meet George, and even from a young age, because he mentions he's part of he subscribes to National Geographic.
Yes.
Yeah, he wants to travel. He says he knows what he wants. In that night where he's walking along with Mary, and they're talking about the wishes, and he says, "Oh, I know what I want," and he's like, "I'm going to travel. I'm going to college, and I'm going to build it." And then he ends up never doing those things. And I think some people could maybe look at this film and for a cynical view of it, just going, right, he never travels.
He never
goes
became
to
the
college.
architect. He never went to college. He never did.
Never becomes an architect. He never achieved anything in his life. But I think part of that is that is life.
Yeah.
A lot of people have these plans and they don't turn out for them. And you could then look at it and just go, oh, well, I haven't achieved anything. But I think the message of this is, all right, he didn't achieve what he intended to, but it's not that he didn't achieve anything.
Yeah.
The whole point of the end of it is no, you have a loving wife, 4 beautiful kids, you're the backbone of this neighbourhood.
You're adored by people.
So you maybe didn't set out to do all of these things, but you still achieved something. So I don't think a message of this would be of stay home and appreciate what you've got, or you should go out and travel and follow your dreams and stuff like that. I think it is just one of those, the main message of this film is you need to stop and appreciate what you have and maybe what you are to the community you are a part of.
So now that you have seen it, does it make you want to do that with yourself? Does it make
I
you want
hate
to...
people.
I hate... No, it was, as the film was going on, I was sort of checking the points in my head thinking, right, so he's stopped going away there because he was doing something good for the family. He's staying with the family business, and he's not gone away again because he's marrying Mary. And again, when it pans to Bailey Park, did they call it, the little village of the houses he's building?
Bailey Park.
I was like, okay, he's not built the skyscrapers he's want, but he's built some houses. I was like, okay, so obviously, I get these are the beats they're going for and the things that he's doing, and it's is this a message that's supposed to relate to the viewer and make...
Yeah, I think it shows you what Christmas is all about. It shows you the build-up of everyday life, him grinding to earn a penny to give back a penny constantly every day, and you see it taking its toll on him until he realises exactly what he's got and how rich he is in life. And it's Christmas Eve and everybody's got together, everybody's giving what they've got to help him. I think it's that sort of message.
Yeah, but I think it's... Yeah, because I think every time he gives up one of his dreams, it's never because he's giving up. It's always because he's doing something to help people. He gives up travelling because he needs to stay and help the company that his dad fought for, so that Mr. Potter, big evil businessman, doesn't ruin that. He then gives up travelling with Mary because they plan to travel for their honeymoon.
Yes, they do, yeah.
Because he needs to stay and help the community.
Yeah.
These people, their money is at risk, so it is one of those things. And they literally choose to use the money that they plan to do their honeymoon with to give the money to the community so this business can stay open, so that these people don't then get taken advantage of by Mr. Potter. And he never, like you say, he doesn't become an architect, but he ends up building affordable homes for people who they say has been living in, I don't think they refer to it as ghettos.
Slums?
Yeah, slums. Yeah, they call them
yeah.
Potter's slums. And you see how thankful, because it is Martini's family in it. You see them moving out.
Yeah, and then he's got
how grateful he is
yeah.
to him, because he's got a huge family. And that he's moving out of this. He's moving out of this slum, and he's like, I'm not renting. This is my home. And it's this big moment for him. So let's say every time George gives up one of his dreams, it's never because he's given up or he's not good enough or anything like that. It is because he's at the heart and soul of it, he is a good person who wants to help people. And then the whole message at the end of it is, well, if you have never been born, some people could argue that it's over-dramatised. If he hasn't been born, people's lives, somebody else maybe have filled that role. But it's the whole idea of, like, if he wasn't there, these people's lives could potentially be worse because he wasn't there to help them.
Yeah.
So, no, I really like that, and I thought, if you were being really cynical, you could say it comes across as hammy, it comes across as cheesy, but I don't think it does.
No, I don't think it comes across like that at all.
No, I think this is a really sweet film.
If anything, it's almost forced me to think, like, you know, obviously I brought this topic up here.
Yeah.
It's almost made me think, like, right, okay, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life and things and
You're recording
all
a
that
hit
is?
podcast.
Of course. This is where I tell you I'm moving away. Hey, we don't use profanity.
I think we do. I've tried not to, but I'm sure people have sworn on this podcast.
I don't think we have.
I think we're being upstanding young gentlemen.
Except for Sean, who you already referred to as not young.
I contradict myself many a times, sometimes. Never. No, I just thought it would be an interesting point to bring up. But again, to say how old a film is, but that's what it's made me think.
Yeah.
You know, you can't say the same about a lot of modern films, or maybe I've just never seen the modern films that might do that. But, you know, there you go. Just interesting things.
It would be difficult to say. Like, I haven't watched a lot of modern Christmas films, and any of, like, what I would say were modern ones, they are just they do kind of gear more to just, like, the more child friendly kind of just, like, let's have a little bit of fun time. So I haven't seen a modern Christmas film with, like, this kind of message, this kind of heart.
The only one that's got a small message similar to It's a Wonderful Life now is Fred Claus.
Okay,
He feels pushed out. He then begins to hate his brother because he gets all this attention with him being a saint and all that side of it, until his brother's unable to give Christmas to the world, and he steps in, helps out, and realises how much he actually loves his brother.
I honestly thought he was going to say Arthur Christmas for a second.
No.
I thought he was going to say Elf, and I was going to...
I was going to like that poor little girl who doesn't get a present.
Hated. We all know how Google listens to us now when we're chatting, and the odd advertisement and things will pop up to what we've been talking about.
Right.
Well, one popped up on mine because we'd been discussing It's a Wonderful Life and blah blah blah. It popped up on mine about Wonderful Life, how Elf is the modern day It's a Wonderful Life.
If anybody refers, if anybody says that next statement,
go check yourself out in the mirror and take a look at your life.
Who made that connection?
I don't know, but it's so wrong.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say.
Words. He has no words. The words have gone.
No. Just no.
Yeah, just.
I know people like the movie Elf a little too much, in my opinion, but there is absolutely no way that Elf is the modern It's a Wonderful Life.
I used to love Elf, and now I'm at the point where I don't think we've watched it for the last 2 years because I got so fed up of seeing it. And I loved that film, and now I've got so fed up of it.
Do you know what is the UK's favourite Christmas film?
Please tell me it's Die Hard.
It's not Die Hard.
Damn it!
It's Love Actually.
Oh, that is a great film.
No.
I love Love Actually.
That was voted the number one British.
So many great actors and actresses.
Next question, what is your favourite Christmas film?
Batman Returns.
No, Christmas.
No, seriously. Like, do you know the debate's usually around, is Die Hard a Christmas film? The one this year is being like, right, forget Die Hard. Is Batman Returns a Christmas film?
Which one's
it's
that?
Set at Christmas.
Okay, is Ghostbusters 2 then a Christmas film?
Don't tell me you don't think Ghostbusters 2 is a Christmas film.
We did actually watch it one year.
My favourite Christmas film is probably The Santa Claus.
Oh, I love The Santa Claus.
Nearly every year, because if I'm at home, when I'm at home for Christmas,
love Tim Allen.
When I'm at home for Christmas, it'll get to a point my mum and dad will fall asleep, so it'll just be me and my brother, and we always watch The Santa Claus and Hook.
Okay, Hook, different. See, it's a toss-up for me. It's either Die Hard
I will argue that Die Hard is a Christmas film, but I don't think it's a film that I would ever like watch on Christmas Day.
I do. I do. Or if not on Christmas Day, it's like the run up to, like the week before. It's like I have to watch Die Hard. It's either Die Hard, Jingle All the Way. It might actually see now. So here's one for you. Last year was the first time I watched The Polar Express.
It's a brilliant film.
My dad adores that film.
Mm.
He even has a bell. He even has a bell to
Well,
ring
if you look on there,
for the
so
train. Excellent.
She's got a ticket.
Yes.
as well.
So there's a nice little tidbit. My mum has got me one of the tickets.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
I put the effort in. I made it all.
I've only seen that film once, and I honestly do not remember it.
It's a brilliant film. We
It
watch
is
it.
quite
It's one of the
nice.
films that we watch Christmas Eve. We save it for Christmas Eve.
Oh,
We've got, X amount of Christmas DVDs, but that's the always one we save for Christmas Eve.
But you know what?
But my favourite is in Muppets Christmas Carol.
Oh,
Yes.
Muppets Christmas Carol.
Muppets Christmas Carol.
I don't really remember Muppets Christmas Carol much.
What?
I remember the Christmas Carol, obviously, the
It's
story
so
of it.
upbeat.
It is my favourite version of the Christmas Carol.
Yeah. But
I
story.
don't really remember the
just
Muppets
love it.
one.
But I love the Muppets, so
But you know what? When I don't really watch much at Christmas, Miracle on 34th Street.
never seen it
Never seen it.
because I think that was the toss up.
I've not seen the original, but we recently watched the Attenborough one.
It was a remake.
The Attenborough. The one with Attenborough is the remake. There is an original black
Yeah,
and
there
white
is a
Miracle on 34th Street.
but everyone knows the Richard Attenborough in it
Yeah.
with the girl who plays Matilda.
David Attenborough.
Can't
Yeah, well, I was
remember.
about to say David, and I stopped myself. That's why I kept saying Attenborough. I was waiting for one of you to say it.
When he passed away, and everybody thought it was David Attenborough who died. Oh, poor time.
I'm trying to think of other Christmas films now.
E.T.'s one that always comes on at Christmas, and I don't get
There's
why.
no, there's no Christmas.
No,
I think
no.
that's just like
They
it's
always
like a
put it on.
family film. So.
Yeah.
Like you get those films that I think are always played like in that period between Christmas and New Year, and it's like Mary Poppins, Bedknobs and Broomsticks,
Hey up.
Oliver, which I love. Even though every time I watch that, I'm like, God, this film does go on quite a bit.
There's one Christmas film I haven't seen, which
I'm sure there's many Christmas films you haven't seen.
it's another all-time classic, and that's A White Christmas.
See,
I've never seen that.
I watched that for the first time last year, and I really liked it. It's a proper musical number. There is musical bits in it. It's Bing Crosby. Is it Bing?
Bing, yeah.
Or is it?
Is it? Yeah, it's Bing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Doris Day?
I'll bring it out now.
I can't. Who's Calamity Jane? Was that Doris Day? No.
Rosemary Clooney?
Maybe, I forget. But I
It's
watched
Bing.
that. I watched that for the first time last year, and I really liked it. Really, really liked it. I might have to watch that again this year.
Never seen that one either.
But that was a good one. I enjoyed that one.
It's a bit late as well, that one, isn't it? 54.
Yeah, 54, that one. So
I watched that singing the song.
your leads in that are Bing Crosby, Danny Kaye, Rosemary Clooney, and Vera Ellen.
Oh, I completely got it wrong. Sorry.
Yeah. What the hell were you on?
I have no idea.
Oh, bloody hell.
Oh, no. Cut that edit. Right, do you need a clap for an edit?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
You only need to do the clap thing if you're synchronising the audio with the video.
We might be. You're on
Who's
candid camera.
Right, since we have drifted into the section of the podcast where we go off topic, and we're already at nearly 40 minutes long,
Oh, man.
I'd
You
say-
might have to cut this up.
I'd say we wrap this up.
Well, before we wrap it up, as
Oh,
we
yes.
was discussing, there
Wrap
is
it
a
up.
nice little fact. That there's
Christmas.
two, yeah,
Wrap it up.
For Christ's sake. Go on, Sean.
Two of the side characters, the police officer and the taxi driver,
Yeah.
it's something I've always sat there and gone, and then never Googleized.
Google eyes.
Tonight, we Googleized it, and we had a little look.
I love
to
that you
see
say
if it's true.
you've always wondered, but you claim that you'd only seen this film 8 years ago.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. For the
8
last 8
years.
years, I have never looked
Just
it
let
up.
me-
And I always sit there and go, oh, is it? And then I haven't.
Yeah, because I
They're
thought it
called
was.
Bert and Ernie. And I wondered
Are
if
they?
that's
Yeah.
where Sesame Street got the names for Bert and Ernie from. And I have looked it up. There is a little trivia fact, and it says that there is a lot of strong rumours that they did get
Nothing's
that.
ever been
The
confirmed.
name's
No, it's never been
Ernie.
confirmed, but there is a little Sesame Street clip where Bert and Ernie is watching a small TV screen on set, and on the TV screen is
them
It's a
two.
Wonderful Life.
Is it specifically the scene with Bert and Ernie at the house?
No, I couldn't quite see the screen.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But yeah,
But no, I did wonder that one.
I wonder if it is. If anybody has got the answer, if you could write into PO Box. No, I've got a PO Box.
We could set one up.
Also, why would they just put it in the comments if they did have an answer?
We like
it's modern
physical
day.
things.
Yeah.
Or if you have a homing pigeon that you could.
Oh, a
raven!
A raven!
Anywho, James, stop knocking the table.
I'm not looking.
You're getting excited and shaking.
It's Christmas. Let me be
not
happy.
quite, but
Damn you.
right. So to wrap it up, I really like this film. Will not be surprised if come this time next year I decide to watch it again.
Same.
So is it a definite 10 out of 10 Doorballs?
But as it's Christmas,
Can it have
I've-
10 out of 10 candy sticks?
I was going to give you the doorbell system, but if you want to change it right now when I was about to give in, James, yeah, it's 10 out of 10 candy sticks.
Yay!
Oh, that's his highest rating.
Yeah, it is. You've got to make things pip that.
What?
You've got to make films pip that 10. It's got to be like good to get up there with
An 11 out of 10.
11 out of 10.
Alright, we need to do This Is Spinal Tap one time. Right, so I love this movie. It does seem to be rare that we watch films on this and they exceed my expectations, but this was definitely one of them.
Good.
Good pick, Mr. Linder. Good pick.
That's off to
You're
you,
welcome,
man.
guys.
Has this kind of ruined it now you have to watch it again with Hannah?
No, 'cause she actually said last night, she was like, oh, so that means we're not watching it. I was like, oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
We'll leave it a few days, then we'll watch it again.
Alright. James?
Yes.
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts, great film, loved it. I really did like it. I'm happy I finally watched it. I'm sorry that it's taken me so long to get around to watching it, but I have the same like feelings as I did when I watched White Christmas last year. You know, like great, I've watched this. This is good.
Yeah.
I'm happy now.
Oh, good. Oh, I'm really glad we watched this and we decided to do a Christmas special.
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah.
Very special.
So go and watch it, kids.
Kiddos.
And adults, I suppose. I would say this is a Christmas movie that is probably more geared to adults.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. For the messages that
Yeah. Like I say, this isn't all
Appreciate
about
what you've
Santa
got.
and stuff like
Don't
that. I
sit with your
think,
blinkers on.
yeah. No, I enjoyed this. I think it's got a good message. Even when did we say it was?
46.
46. Even however many years later that is, I can't bother to do maths real quick. A long time. But I think it's aged really well.
72 years.
Okay, just a quick little pointer of because it was a thing that we brought up in the last episode of how kind of bit weird the relationship was between Rocky and Adrian.
Yeah.
I thought the romance between them two was so much sweeter for a film that predates it decades.
Yeah.
Old romantic.
Yeah. Like this, I loved the scene of them just walking along when they're in the kind of borrowed clothes and stuff. They're just talking. It does just seem like two young people just kind of getting to know each other, and the whole lasso the moon.
Buffalo girl, won't you come out to me? Come to me. Come out to me. Buffalo girl,
Yeah, we will wrap it up.
Okay.
So, I don't think I ever remember to say like, comment, subscribe, but do all that stuff because it's fun.
Give us a follow on Instagram.
We don't have an Instagram.
That's where you're going wrong. All the kids are on Insta.
All the
these
kids.
days.
All the kids are on TikTok. We need to get on TikTok.
I don't even know what
never
they.
even heard of that.
No, right. We're finishing it. I don't know if you want to do an outro this time.
Yes,
But
have a
there's
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year,
Yes.
guys.
Merry
Yeah.
Christmas and a Happy New Year.
From all of us.
Much love.
Yeah, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Live and prosper.
Huh?
I don't know.
Right.
Please leave that as the ending.
This is the wrong take.
He's delirious, I think. He's been up for a long while.